Welcome to Evansville Podcast. My name is Jason. Thank you for listening. Today's show, we got a call in from Kylie Odetta. She is coming to Evansville on May 6th to play at Wired. So Mr. David Rudabaugh showed up to help me talk at her for a little bit, ask some good questions, hopefully play a couple of clips from some of her upcoming EP, which will be released very soon. We get into that as well. There will be a new video available this week, and I'll share that as soon as I see it. So let's just get into it. Kylie Odetta from South Carolina. Thanks for I'm Jason, and David is...
Hi, I'm David.
The other voice.
Hey!
Hey, David's the hookup at Wired.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited about the show.
No, we're stoked about it. It's going to be really cool. We got a lot of people interested.
Yay!
And so I'm expecting good things.
Yay! That makes me...
Everybody's like, oh, she's so good, because I'll like show them YouTube clips and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, and she's going to be playing here, so get your butts over here and bring your friends.
Yes. Tell all of the people.
We do this.
Yeah, that's what he does. So how long have you been performing?
I have been performing since, well, technically, I guess my first performance ever was in church when I was about 8, I think, but playing coffee shops and little open mics and stuff since I was about 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. I can get a hint of the South Carolina.
My accent?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're close to Kentucky here, so we get accents plenty, but it's a little different than I'm used to. So
that's funny. I see it. I feel like recently I've gotten more Southern sounding, which I used to not be. I don't know what's bringing it out of me, but
have you been touring more?
I toured. I play a lot of shows. I went on a big month-long tour out to Colorado and back last September. And yeah, so I do travel a good bit. But I guess I'm just embracing my roots.
There you go. I think that when you go on tour, you just kind of gotta represent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm proud. I'm proud to be from South Carolina.
now you hear me talking here. This is David. Now, I went to college in Kentucky, and whenever I got down there, the first thing that a lot of people said to me was, "You're a Yankee." And I was like, I don't even have an accent, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you have a very good. It would be a good voice for like theater and acting. It doesn't have a very distinct like Southern or Northern. It's just a nice voice.
Well, thanks. I've been known to dabble in those things.
Very cool.
What's the music scene like in South Carolina? I got to say, I've been there a couple times. We got some friends that live around there, but I've never really delved into the music scene. So what's the music scene like over there?
It really depends on where you're at. Like in Greenville, South Carolina, which is where I'm from, there's not a whole lot for original music going on here. There's a great scene for cover bands and fine dining entertainers and stuff like that. They are starting to create a few more venues and spaces for local original artists, which has been really nice. But down in Charleston, there's a really cool scene, which is on the coast of South Carolina. And they have kind of a indie alternative scene going on down there, which is really fun. Yeah, and same for Columbia, which is a college town. The USC is there. And so they have a lot of like alternative rock bands, like young adults that play there, and they do really well. So it just kind of depends on what city you're in.
It's interesting in Evansville. It's there's a large growing thing happening. It's not arrived yet, and there used to be a really strong scene, but it's really developing right now. And there's some exciting young acts that are kind of coming up. You'll get to a few of them that we have that are openers for you are really, really exciting. One of them, they made their debut at our open mic night. And
cool.
It's an acoustic duo, and they do these beautiful harmonies. So
wow.
It's pretty cool, but they've been getting gigs around town. They're the ones that played the Love It EVV magazine launch party here recently.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
So, yeah, some
there's
cool
no
stuff.
There's no shortage of awesome original bands in Greenville. I've actually got a really cool like indie duo opening for my CD release show in May. So there's a ton of amazing artists here. There's just not that much support venue wise.
Oh man,
Sure. That makes,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you get the acts going first, and then the buildings will.
well,
will get there.
that's the thing here too. Like we try to almost exclusively do original music. Very seldom do we have people doing much with covers. But when they do, it's usually like original versions of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's fun. Like I throw in covers to my shows because everyone loves those.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for it to be primarily original music and then have a few fun covers, that's what I prefer.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. So when you cover things, do you tend to just try to make it your own? You have a very distinct sound and style. So I would imagine that it would be kind of really natural for you to kind of let your own life breathe into it.
Oh, yeah. Typically, when I do a cover, I do always almost do my own version. And if I don't change up the melody, then just the fact that a lot of the songs are guitar driven and I play piano, that shakes it up a little bit anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then just singing in my vocal styling sometimes gives it a little edge as well. But yeah, I try to shape things around a little bit to make it my own version. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, that's if you get a chance to when you talk to Lauri and Ellie, the first time I ever heard them do anything, and the first time they ever played something at that open mic night, they did a cover, and that cover is what kind of piqued my interest.
Yeah,
and it was their version of "Ring of Fire" by Johnny Cash, but it was played on ukulele.
Wow!
And two part female vocal harmony.
That's really cool.
It was pretty rad.
That is different. So you play a lot of like house concerts. And I don't know, just all over the place. It seemed like from the bio I was reading, I mean, you played in front of like 20,000 people, and then you played in small venues like house concerts. So is there a preference there for you?
There is. I definitely prefer. I mean, I love large shows, but I definitely prefer and feel a special connection to smaller, intimate shows where I can literally just like stop and talk to the audience, basically, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging out.
I love house concerts. I love to like crack jokes and tell stories and stuff. So that type of setting where it's a really listening environment and everyone's there for music are definitely my favorite types of shows. And I try to create that environment in my bigger concerts that I have. Like I had a benefit concert this past Christmas, and I set it up as kind of a RSVP only thing, like where it's kind of like this underground concert, like to make people more excited rather than just a show where everyone goes to talk and you know sort of listen to the music. I don't really prefer those types of shows.
Right. Yeah. No, there's a distinct thing there, and that's something that depending on the, and I think venues can help if they're mindful of that. That's something we really strive to do, is create an intimate setting and make it really approachable. You know, if it's a heavy rock show that we're hosting, we're not going to have chairs out or anything like that, or lights in the audience. But you know, we like to for more intimate shows where it's music that you want to actually just listen to and really engage with in a less rowdy way. We try to kind of use lighting and seating in a way that kind of encourages that cozy, let's be homies in this show time vibe, you know. So hopefully we'll get to marry the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, and like I said, I do enjoy larger shows too. It just, you have to kind of know what mindset you're going into, because if it's going to be a more lively thing, then you also have to bring that presence to the stage. But if you know it's going to be a quieter, more intimate evening, then you can, you know, kind of look at it a little differently.
And a lot of times the music will be the defining factor there.
Yep.
And then the demographic of the audience you're going after.
Yes.
So, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Heck yeah.
Are you a coffee drinker?
I am, and I'm not. I have really bad acid reflux, so when I'm touring and singing, I try not to drink coffee.
Right.
But I do enjoy it. I do love it. I'm like a iced vanilla latte type person.
See, David's a bit of a mad scientist when it comes to coffee.
It's sort of my jam.
Yeah, and I love it, and I love the art of it. I have a lot of friends who are super into it and actually like do the kind of buying of the coffee from other country type things. And I think it's really fascinating, and I wish I could drink it more. But my body just doesn't like me to.
Well, I tell you what, if it's acidity that's the issue, there are brewing methods that can dampen that. If you brew with like a manual, instead of doing like a pour over or drip brew or a French press, if you brewed with an AeroPress, it's about like 1/9 the acidity of drip brew. So it's a lot cleaner and a lot harder, a lot easier on your digestive system.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have that, I'll definitely try.
There you go, man.
After I sing, just to be
right,
safe.
yeah, after. Always after. So I always like to ask creative people, like, where do you get your inspiration from for the songs? Because you're a songwriter, you're not just a performer, but a songwriter as well. I assume you write all of your songs you do? I do,
yes. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it comes from anything and everything. Most of the times, my songs come from personal experiences or personal thoughts and, things like that. But there's actually a few songs on the new CD that I have coming out that were based on things that happened to my friends that they told me about. And just kind of, one of them was very intentionally, I wrote it about her story. And then another one kind of subconsciously, after I wrote the song, I realized it was exactly what me and my friend had just talked about the previous week. So just life, like my songs are pretty much just inspired by everyday emotions and things that we go through, and then kind of dramatizing it a little bit.
Right. What was the specific song there that you were?
Yeah, so You Don't Love Me is based off of my friend who called me on the phone and was telling me what happened to her, between her and her boyfriend on her birthday last year. And it was literally just sounded like something straight out of a movie. And I was like so mad. And I just got fired up because she called me crying. And I'm like, oh my God, who do I need to beat up? And so she tells me the story, and I kind of took it and made it into like an old school, like dramatic, heartbroken song.
You don't love me. You don't love me anymore. Don't get me wrong, I know we've been fighting lately. Correct if I'm wrong, you said you never stop fighting, baby. For our love, I've never been.
And then the other one is Stress, which was my friend who was in a relationship that it just got to the point where, I mean, every conversation and every time they tried to work something out, it just caused them more stress than positive things or love. They were just, everything reached the point where it was stressful rather than a good relationship. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to stress itself as well as in a relationship, maybe. So.
Start from the top and lay it down on me. Say what you want, don't hold it back for me. 'Cause I know what I can handle, and you need someone who can handle you. All we do is stress. Baby, I am blessed by now. All we do is stress. Surface level loving, 'cause I got nothing left. All you do is doubt, and I keep holding out, but now all you do is doubt. Surface level loving, 'cause
I tell you what, honestly, like the song Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
I think I've listened to that. Like, that song is just, it's so freaking good.
It really is. Yeah.
Like, absolutely. And I'm, as a songwriter who is really bad at it, but really appreciates good songwriting.
Oh, I doubt that you're bad at it.
That's crazy good, though. It's awesome. I'm blown away. How old are you?
I'm 19.
And you've written how many songs?
Probably at this point, roughly over 250.
Jeez.
But granted, I've been writing since I was 8 years old. That's a long time.
Girl.
But still.
I mean, do you sleep or just write songs?
No, I do sleep. I love sleep. like, you know how people are like morning people or night people? I'm neither. I like to get up around like 8, which isn't that late or early. And then I like to be in bed around 11. So I'm a very like average sleep person. But I feel like recently I've gotten pretty good at time management, and creativity comes in seasons. Like, because I've been so busy recently with the promotion of this release, it's been hard to write songs because you have to have space to be creative and let those thoughts like roam, So there will be times where I don't write for 2 weeks or a month, and then there'll be a time where I write 10 songs in 1 week. It just kind of depends on when that creativity is flowing. And I have found recently I've in the past 2 years gotten more into co-writing. And so when, you're writing with friends that you flow well together with, you come up with some pretty cool stuff. So
when you write the songs, do you get the lyrics first or the music first, or does it just kind of vary?
It honestly, for me, I would say I'm primarily a lyrics person first, but it all comes at once for me. I typically write the piano, or the guitar, whatever it is, the music, lyrics, and melody at the same time. Like some people I know that I've written with, they're melody people, and so they'll have like music and a melody but no words, and then I'll fill that in with some lyrics. But when I write by myself, it typically all happens at the same time.
See, that's really frustrating to hear, because when I write by myself, I spend like 6 months with a chord progression, and then I try like 55 melodies, and then like the words are like, oh yeah, the words are just there always. And sometimes they really, really suck, and sometimes they just kind of suck. So it's a little. That's crazy to me. Like, I can't imagine like all of it coming at once. It's like, you have a special app on your brain that you just open your songwriting app and
turn the faucet on.
We're good. Just let it go.
Definitely. I mean, I've always said, I don't know, yes, you can learn a craft, and like, I have certainly learned so much over the years about music itself, but inherently I do believe it's a gift, that comes from God, because I don't know how it all happens at once. I would be in the same boat as you.
It's crazy.
So when you collaborate with other people, I've never understood the whole songwriting process anyways, but like co-writing with someone, are you coming up with a line and then you're like, what do you think comes after this? Or you just got a concept, or how does that even work?
So what you just said, all of the above, typically how my experiences have been is that you get together with either one or two people. They could be friends, or they could just be other people you want to write with, like that are on other publishing deals or stuff like that. Like, I do it a lot when I go up to Nashville and visit, but I also just write with my friends. And so typically you just come in like to a room or whatever, wherever you're writing, and you kind of just hang out for a little bit. That's what I prefer to do. Just kind of talk, catch up on what's going on in life. And usually something will kind of jump out in that sense when you're just catching up. Like, recently I've really been feeling blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, like, let's write about that, Or if you catch up and then you still got nothing, you kind of, I have like, little voice memos and ideas that I've been working on kept in my phone, and usually the other person does too. And so it'll be like, well, I came up with this verse the other day, but I don't know what else to do with it. And then I would play them this verse, and they would either be like, oh yeah, like, what about this? And then from there on, you just kind of start bouncing ideas off of each other and going from there, building the song. Or, you play this idea and it just doesn't really connect with anyone. So then you move on to another thing, and it could be a chord structure. It could be a lyric idea, and you just kind of, you build this song together.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So should we write a song while you're here?
Hey, let's do it. I'm down.
Cool.
It's funny. I don't know if you've ever co-written with people, but I've been a lot of people's co-write first. Like, I've had people come to me because they're like, I don't know how to co-write, and I'm about to go move to Nashville, or I don't know how to co-write and I'm about to go write with this person. Can I write with you so we can figure it out? And I'm like, sure, come on. And so I've been a lot of people's first co-writes.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I've written with a few people, and sometimes it really works and sometimes it doesn't. Personalities or and styles, and
it's everyone.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I'd write with you in a second. You
let's
got mad skills, homie.
Oh, thank you.
Is there a certain style that you would call yourself? I mean, I hate putting
Gangster rap.
yeah,
I think.
gangster rap is close, but I'm not sure if it's quite all
You know,
encompassing.
Yeah, that's totally me. No, I recently I'm guessing it's the High Dreamer EP, Let Me Love You said that you've listened to, and my new EP. The style I would describe it as is primarily singer-songwriter with a hint of jazz, because it's not jazz music, but it has that jazzy touch in a lot of ways. So I don't ever like coming out and saying jazz, because I'm not a jazz artist.
Right.
But I'm not also strictly an indie folk singer-songwriter. You know, it kind of has a mesh of both. So I don't really know what to call myself, but that's what I say.
Sure. No, that helps. And your new EP, you kind of mentioned, but so if somebody was a fool and missed you while you were here in Evansville, or somehow most likely listen to it after the fact, but they can still get your new EP. When does that come out?
It comes out online everywhere May 19th, and the CD release shows the May 20th. But yeah, so everything will be up May 19th, and I actually have the first single and music video is coming out this next week, May 3rd.
Oh, cool. So it'll be available before the
Yes,
show.
and-
So sweet.
Yes, and pre-orders will be starting May 3rd as well.
Now, will you have merch available for people's?
Yes, I will. I won't have the new Undertow EP merch yet, but I will have all my CDs for High Dreamer and my past CD, and I have T-shirts that say High Dreamer and Kylie Odetta and different cool artsy things. And I have free stickers.
Free stickers.
I mean, done and done. Right?
That's. I mean, I already have 4 applications in mind for the stickers. So
Yes, you take as many as you want.
There you go.
You'll spread them like wildfire.
Oh, jeez. Maybe I have one more question.
Okay.
I don't know if David has like 100 more or not, but
Roughly.
But since you travel, is there something that you look for in a city that you go to, or do you really have time to even spend time in the city if you're there?
Like, so are you saying if I'm planning a tour, like what do I look for in a city to go to, or once I'm already there, is there something I look for to do?
Yeah, if there's something to do, like you're like, oh, sweet, this city has a McDonald's. I love McDonald's, or something. Like,
Zoos are my jam. I want to see every monkey in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love food, as most people do, but I love trying to find a local place to eat wherever I'm at. So, and I'm a huge breakfast person, so I love getting brunch, a really good brunch, like after the day after the show, before I leave town or something like that.
We got you, boo.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's what I have to hear.
But
Yeah, I'm always asking for brunch recommendations. And if I have the time, like if I'm going to be in that town for a few days and I only have a few shows, I'll go hiking or something, see if there's something like that to explore in the mornings.
Cool.
As far as you're concerned, in the field of entertainment, what is it that your hope is when people leave a show? What is the number one thing that you are like, dude, I want them to feel or think? Where do you want their head to be when they leave?
For me, I want people to leave inspired to go after whatever they are passionate about. And I would love for people to leave my show feeling like they had this very in the moment experience that night, because it's so like the way the world is these days with social media and all that's going on, and everyone's answer when you ask, how are you? It's, oh, I'm great. I'm just so busy right now. Everyone is busy. So to create an atmosphere or a night or an hour where people can really just be right there in that moment and not thinking about anything else is what I hope to do.
Yeah. See, as a performer, that's always something that I ask myself, no matter if I'm acting on stage or if I'm singing with a band or if I was leading worship at a church service. Like, there's always, what is the goal? Why am I doing this? And how do I want people to respond? And, part of anything you do in life, it's you want to execute a goal. And when you successfully execute that goal, then you can kind of rest easy, and know that you've done your best. And it's even better when your best achieves the goal that you're trying to achieve. So it's kind of cool to be able to do that. And so, as a venue, that's one of our goals, is to try to help whatever artist is playing achieve that. And so That's always good to hear.
Yeah, that's funny that you said what is the point? What are we trying to do here?
Mm-hmm.
I have that conversation all the time. Me and my mom work very closely together, and we're always like, our motto over the past year has been, how can we give, rather how can we gain?
Mm-hmm.
Because music itself, the industry, it can turn very quickly into a selfish industry where you're trying to, each show, get new followers, get new fans, and if you don't get 10 plus Instagram followers, it was a failure of a show, and that is just, it's a draining and horrible way to live your music career, so I try to go into every show thinking, how can I give to this audience rather than what can I get from them?
We're excited to have you. We've been talking it up, and a lot of people are just amped out of their mind to be there.
Yay! Well, that makes me so happy to hear. It always blows my mind whenever people want to come to one of my shows or hear my music. I'll have friends that, like, all my close friends know how happy that makes me. And so they'll have their friends, like, if their friend texts them, like, oh, I was listening to Kylie's music today. It was really good for studying. They'll, like, screenshot it and send it to me. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's so nice. And they're like, yeah, we thought you might like that.
Right. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling and being willing to chat with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you Saturday.
No problem. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And I expect great brunch recommendations.
Oh, they're loaded. Also,
please.
I got you covered in Nashville too.
Great.
So brunch is covered wherever you are.
Cool. Well, awesome. Well, thanks, Kylie. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks so much. You too. With talking to Kylie Odetta and plans for this weekend, this coming weekend, I wanted to also kind of throw out there that Wednesday, the 3rd of May, we have a band called North by North from Chicago coming through. They're fantastic. And opening for them is our local favorites, the Jangle Sheep. They do amazing work, and they're funky enough you can shake your booty. So come on out Wednesday night. It shouldn't be a late night. Just, roll on in there. Show starts at 7, coffee bar at 6. And we'll have some funky music for you. It's going to be fun. And then Friday night, we've got a rockin' show with the Snakes. We've got Vices to Veils. We've got Not Your Villain and A Modest Proposal. So it's going to be just a killer night of rockin' music. And, of course, Kylie is playing on Saturday. And with her, we have Vesper Days, who's amazing. If you don't know her, you're going to love her. She's fantastic. We have Lauri and Ellie. They're amazing. We just so much history with these local musicians, and getting to have a week like this where it's just all music that we're excited about, and a lot of music this week at Wired. Make sure you get there. Come on over, get a tasty beverage, and sit down and enjoy some music or rock out on Friday. So
if somebody wants to know about like upcoming shows at Wired, what's the best way?
The best way right now is if you go on Facebook and you find Wired Coffee House and Music Venue, like us, and then go to the events page and subscribe. And that way, when we have a new event published, you got that rolled out there. And it's kind of neat too, because every Friday at Wired we have noontime lunch yoga with Samantha Manette. And then I almost forgot Sunday, after Kylie plays, Sunday night at Wired, we have Wade Baker's 18-piece big band.
Wow.
At 6 p.m.
Jeez.
So
you don't sleep this week?
Nah, man. This is just another week in the life.
He gave up that.
Who cares? 100-hour works week. I mean, what's that?
You have coffee readily available, so
there's not enough coffee.
At some point, do you get immune to it?
Yeah, no. I like take 16-ounce cup of drip brew right before bed and brush my teeth, go to bed. Slept really well.
Oh gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, I want to make sure. Yeah, because the music, it's every kind of music. I mean, there's no, if you like one kind but you don't like the other kind, just that's fine.
Right. Wednesday we got some funky rock and roll, kind of like the North by North. They kind of remind me of a rock and Black Keys-ish thing. Mm-hmm. And then the Jangle Sheep, of course, are awesome. And then Friday, the Snakes are coming over from Louisville, and they are, if you haven't ever seen the Snakes, they're amazing. But that's a rockin' night. And then Saturday, Kylie, and we've got like acoustic and folk and like piano and just really jazzy singer-songwriter stuff. And then Sunday, we got a big band. If you like Glenn Miller and swing dancing, you better get out there.
It's crazy.
So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's just, the sheer variety.
Being a place for everybody. Like
it is.
Trying to fill the community's music needs. All of them.
Just me.
So
cool. Well, thanks for coming over and spending a little bit of time here.
Hey, man. It worked out great.
Yeah.
Finished at Wired, came here.
now go back to work.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to, no, it's not my fault. I'll try and make you want me, but I'm just a grain of salt.
Thanks to Kylie and David for talking with us about their upcoming show on Saturday. Be there at Wired, get some good coffee, enjoy some great music. This clip playing in the background right now is of Lauri and Ellie, who were at the recent Love It at EVV launch party and sounded amazing. So David was able to grab a little recording recently of them, and that's what we're hearing right now. The song's called Salt, I believe. So yeah, if you want more of stuff like this and what we heard earlier in the podcast, check out Wired Saturday night. I believe it's 7 p.m. So thanks. Good job, everybody.
I'll try and make you want me, but I'm just I can feel you look away. Your interest starts to stray. To forget you like a maze in the dark. No one wants to go.
What's up, Tri-State nerds? My name is Clark Wayne Osborne of the Clockwork Nights podcast. Clockwork Nights features music straight out of America's Evansville. Join me as I get to dive into the music history of our city and get to know the people behind it. Find us on iTunes or SoundCloud or Satchel by searching for Clockwork Nights Podcast.